Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean comes clean. Talks about the whole thing, the whole draft slide with two of his former teammates. He went on the Real Talk podcast with Ryland, Goede, and Tate Ratledge, two former UGA players or current UGA players. I don't know their status, to be honest, guys. And he opened up about the whole situation and talked about what happened on draft night. Talked about the emotions of actually being in the room. And these guys all talk about being his teammate and knowing who Nakobe Dean is and knowing the craziness of that report and how, not necessarily misleading definitely, but not necessarily saying that everything that was presented was false, but it was certainly misleading. These guys talk about having internal knowledge. One of the guys that was in the room working out with Nakobe Dean when the injury occurred, he talks about it. Nakobe talks about it. All right, y'all, let's jump into this one. What's up, Cerebral Football fans? My name is Stephen Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. So this just kind of came across my screen, and I was like, this is too good to pass up. There's no way I'm passing this up. Like, we're going to definitely do a reaction video. We're going to throw it up, and we're going to listen to what Nakobe Dean said about the draft day slide and the reported pec injury. Oh, man, this is juicy, man. This is some juicy stuff. All right, y'all. Let's roll the footage, if you will.
Dude, I got to give it to you, too. Like, you're one of the hardest workers I've been around. I remember when we got hurt and we were working out together, like, you were always doing something.
I had to.
Squatting, 8,000 pounds, benching, 5,000 pounds.
Pound for pound, the strongest person in the weight room.
I don't even bench no more.
Really?
Right away, this sparks my interest because they talk about this young man, Nakobe Dean being a workout warrior. And I didn't expect the conversation to go the way it's about to go in a minute, but you hear Nakobe Dean clearly say, I don't even bench anymore. Let's listen into why.
So y'all know last year I hurt my pec, right? Mm-hmm.
I forgot about
bench.
that.
I literally had 215 on the bar. It was like a freak. I don't know what happened. I was just banging it out and just hurt my pec, right? But all the reports came out that I needed.
Yeah.
When the reports came out on draft day, most of them was fake. I needed surgery. I refused to have surgery. I'm gonna miss the season. I'm like,
I was gonna hit on that. So
right away, you hear Nakobe Dean refuting everything we heard reported. And this is just the honest, I don't know how you say this, guys. I mean, if you got kids, muff their ears for a second. Already, I know this is a kid-friendly show for the most part. This is the fuckery of the NFL at times. These false reports to where you got a player directly negating what is said and saying, I was never told this. This was nowhere near a major injury as it was reported. All I can say is I'm really glad that he fell to the valuation that the Eagles had to where Howie was like, look, I don't normally draft linebacker, but there's no way I can pass on this young man at this value.
We'll go back to some other things, but obviously you dropped in the draft and you shouldn't have dropped in the draft.
Yeah.
Because of those fake reports. How did that change your mindset going into the league? Did it give you kind of a chip on your shoulder of I got to prove all these people wrong?
So I always had a chip on my shoulder.
You play like that too, but did it add that?
It definitely added it. I'm actually finna get a tattoo.
Really?
Of a chip on my shoulder. A casino chip.
I like that.
With 83 in it.
Bet on yourself.
I was the 83rd pick, so. But, yeah.
Hey, I mean, whatever can fuel you, right? I mean, I hate to say it, but football is so much about creating an edge. And I know a lot of times people say these things get overblown, but when you're competing at a level to where the levels between these players are so minute, any edge you can give yourself, any external motivation, it helps, man. You heard all the reports. You guys remember during the NFC Championship game, we heard all these reports that, we're not externally motivated about the 49ers game. And then you hear Javon Hargrave go to the 49ers, and he's like, no, the stuff that Kittle said, it was definitely placed up there as bulletin board material. We absolutely used it as a source of external motivation to go out there and prove this defensive line is better than it's being given credit for. So Nakobe Dean talking about getting that tattoo, getting the 83 on the chip for the chip on the shoulder. Hey, man, external motivation.
It didn't do nothing but increase the chip, basically. Chip on my shoulder. I didn't cry about it. I didn't sulk about it. It's all right, get to work, because everybody in the league know when you make it in the league, only thing you need is a chance. And you could be one of the greatest, no matter if you went first round, first pick.
Because as soon as you're in the league, it don't matter where you pick, you're just there.
Exactly.
It's kids come out of college and nobody knows their name, end up getting in the league,
Exactly.
Crazy.
balling out.
Kids from small colleges, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember watching that, dude. I felt so bad for you because it was like you.
I
one of the
was
best
at
play-
the draft.
Huh?
I was at
Yeah.
the draft. I was in Vegas.
Like all the guys that played with you know, like,
At least I was the best one.
You're that guy.
The best looking one there.
yeah. Like,
Best dressed.
but you all. That's another thing is you got that drip.
It's like,
Always.
So, I mean, I really hope that this is this young man's opportunity. Because there's something about Nakobe Dean to me that just, I feel like this young man is going to seize the opportunity. And I don't know if he's going to end up with the green chip of play calling. I do know that Morrow, the linebacker we signed in free agency, has also held those responsibilities before. But this is a young man who has been a team leader on a national championship football team. Is definitely, like, you heard all the rumors about, like, why they brought Fletch back. And part of the reason is clearly they needed a rotation on the defensive line. And it's difficult to find guys that can be contributors and can play at a certain level. But also it has to do with the fact that they needed that internal locker room leader for the defense. And while Fletch isn't the outspoken leader, he's the quiet leader that gets guys like Brandon, Graham back on task, reels those dudes back in. And I think Nakobe Dean will be that in time in Philadelphia. He will be that guy. He will be that kind of vocal leader. But hold up, because I'm going to make another part of this one. Here's the thing. Believe it or not, his controversial slide in the draft, it was so much worse than we knew. And shout out to Fire and Flavor from the Real Talk podcast by Fire and Flavor. Because truth be told, these two young men did a pretty good job of getting Nakobe Dean to open up as, their former teammates in Nakobe Dean and tell the whole story, guys. Teams passed on him from an internal incident inside the national championship game to where he was only trying to hold a fellow friend, a person that is in the locker room with him, who's in the meeting rooms with him as a linebacker, holding them accountable as a team leader. And some teams actually didn't like that. They didn't like that aspect of it. So, more to come. All right, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below on what you think. Man, Nakobe Dean, bro, what a story. What a story this has been. I want nothing but the best for this young man. Because as an off-ball stacked linebacker who's probably going to play, I think he's going to play more towards the strong side than the weak, to be quite honest. But I really think this young man's got a bright future ahead of him. I think his story is not done yet. I know some of you guys are you're a little off on him. But I'm just going to say that I'm very high on Nakobe Dean. Like, I called it right away when the whole Michael Parsons debate started. You remember we had that huge collaboration with content creators it was like LB and Philly 500 and Mike and Joe Castro and Simone. We were all together. I think even Joey Shapes was a part of it. We were all together in that debate. And I told everybody on that panel, I said, listen, I think the comparison is off. Because I don't think that Nakobe Dean's going to play on ball as much as a Michael Parsons. I think he's an off-ball stacked linebacker. I don't think that, I think Hassan Reddick and Michael Parsons is the comparison, not Nakobe Dean and Michael Parsons. I think Nakobe Dean, once he touches that field, he's going to really be a factor. I think he's going to be one of those, intelligent leaders inside of that defense. I really, really do. I have so much confidence in this guy. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to come out and say that I was wrong about the entire situation. I don't think I'm going to be wrong here. I think Nakobe Dean is going to seize the opportunity once it gets there. All right, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video.